Hello, my name is Hunter. I am being targeted by a white supremacist cult. In my community, they live in the community next to mine, and in my community, there was a hate map that I saw, and there's two dots right where I live. I know they're here. They know I know they're here, and they have pretty much been following me job to job, and they gang stalk me out in public. They gaslight me. They try to mentally abuse me and try to make me seem like somebody that I'm not. So, I found out a law enforcement officer who was a really close friend of mine for years. He was an abusive person, especially toward women. Um, and pretty much at the jobs I've had and everything, I noticed that certain situations would happen to me with women, and I couldn't really explain it's just when it first started, it was pretty much I was being trained as a manager and everything, and I was promised a store, and the female that was working with me, she was also being trained. Well, she got the store that I was promised, and pretty much a couple weeks after that, I found out that she was pretty much sleeping with the manager that was training us and everything, and ever since then it's like a constant thing where all the jobs that I go to there's always a female involved, and it seems like it's my fault because this cult is pretty much planting them, passing false rumors around about me, and pretty much getting these women to pretty much turn against me. And it's not just women, it's black people, because they don't want me talking to black people either. And it's really sad because I love everybody. I always have. I haven't had social media in 10 years, and the only social media I do have, which is Instagram, pretty much has me with a bunch of women on there that were friends. Because I've always gotten along with women. And because I know the abuse that this law enforcement officer was doing, this is how they do it. All these women that are being abused out here, and pretty much the men are getting away with it, this is what they do. They're narcissists. They pretty much target people and gaslight them and mentally abuse them and gang stalk them, and pretty much if you try to go and speak to people, they're right behind you, talking to that person after you, passing false rumors around about you to make me seem like somebody that I'm not. And I found out probably 4 years ago now that it was confirmed to me that it was this cult targeting me, pretty much silencing me, pretty much making me feel like nobody's ever going to believe me if I ever tried to speak out about it. And I see that. And on July 12th, at my current job, I was pretty much surrounded and pretty much told that, you know, as you get older, you start seeing people from your past more and more. And it was like very threatening the way that they said it and the way that they were surrounding me. And they pretty much it's because I saw the symbols that they were the aviator glasses, that's the symbol and everything. I saw one of the employees wearing it, and I kind of called him out on it. I was like, because he was pretty much getting in this female manager's ear, passing false rumors around about me, making me seem like somebody that I'm not, and then pretty much smiling in my face because he thought he was getting away with it. So I pretty much said, I was like, I see the sunglasses. I told him I'm not stupid. And that's when they pretty much surrounded me, and three people surrounded me and were pretty much like silencing me, saying nasty things to me. Like the false rumor, I don't really know what they're saying, but the false rumors they're spreading around, the store manager pretty much came up to me and was talking really nasty about women. And this is what they do. They pretty much tell you what they're saying about you, and they know it's not true. But because if you ever try to speak out about it, like, they're just going to be, oh, well, there's more of us, there's only one of you. Pretty much like, what are you going to do? It's sickening to me. And the thing about it is the managers before this, I found out that they were part of this community cult. And when they found out that I knew where they were from and what they were a part of, they started acting really weird around me. And actually, one by one, they left. And apparently they had to like move out of town. And when they left, like, the higher ups, I guess the old store manager pretty much tried to put in his 2 weeks, and then the higher ups were like, apparent. This is just what I heard. Apparently, like, nasty with them, pretty much firing them. And a part of me thinks, I'm starting to think that it's because of what they were having them do to me. I don't think they like, because the person that I called out with the aviator glasses, like, not even a couple days later, he quit and he apologized to me. And this is what they do. They rally, I guess some people would call them cronies, their cult, their community, to target people. And most of the time, those people are innocent. I'm innocent. I don't hurt people. I don't steal. And I love everybody. And I'm starting to think that, like, some of them really don't like what they're, what they're involved in. Like, but that's the thing, is I'm pretty sure they have dirt on these people. And that's what they're trying to do to me. They're sitting back and they're trying to wait for me to mess up on something. And they get irritated when I don't. Because I know. I know what they're doing. And then I pretty much have to come into work and not say anything. And then they make me feel bad for that. Like, they're worried about what I'm going to say. But when I don't say anything, it worries them. And what's really messed up is if they have a bad day, or if something bad happens to them on their shifts, they blame me. Even if I'm not even involved. And they pretty much I'll come into work and they won't say anything to me. And then I started doing that. I started coming into work and not saying anything to anybody. And they they pretty much made me feel like I was the issue. And I went to the store manager and I talked to him about the female manager because I felt like she was targeting me. And it was out of nowhere. Like I did nothing to her. I come into work, I'm very bubbly, I'm outgoing. And I try to make everybody's lives easier. And then one day she just targeted me. And pretty much when these three people surrounded me, the way that they did it is I was pretty much in the back of the house, pretty much just prepping stuff for the day. And then the guy with the aviator glasses pretty much called, he asked for my help. So I was like, okay, I'll come help. And I was helping him and everything. And then he just snapped at me. And he initiated the snap. And I didn't snap back. I just pretty much told him, look, dude, I love you, man. I don't know, I don't know what's going on with you, but, And then he was like, oh, it all started with this. And I just backed up. I was like, all right, well, if you don't want my help, that's no biggie. Like, pretty much showing me what they were doing behind my back. And pretty much like letting me know that they're a part of what I know already. And then a few days later, he quit and everything, which was really surprising. He said something about his pay, like he was missing money out of his paycheck, which started to, worry a lot of the employees. And most of us are taking pictures of our pay at the end, like our schedule at the end of the day to like make sure. And I tried calming down the employees, pretty much telling them that, I don't think that they would do something like that. But right now, I don't know. Because right now, they're like, pretty much seems like they're trying to start a race war or some crap. It's petty. And then they pretty much talk behind my back and get people. And then every time I try to initiate a conversation with like one of my fellow employees, they're like either cutting me off and like interrupting me so I don't talk to them, because they don't want people to see the real me. They don't want people to see the good side of me, the bubbly side of me. They want me to be quiet. They want everybody to think that, I'm just a quiet person. Because the guy that quit, it was funny one day. Because I was having a conversation with the crew and everything. And he comes up to me, he's like, kind of pale face, like, it's harmony right now. Like, the aurora is good. And then not even a week later, like, everything kind of flips upside down. And that truly showed me that, he was not for me. And then I found out that the store manager was involved and one of the other people were involved in everything. And I talked to the store manager. I want to say this. I talked to the store manager about the female manager pretty much targeting me. And he said something about the guy that quit. I didn't even say anything about him. And I told the manager, and I was telling him, I've worked on construction sites. I know I can be a little bit loud and everything. But I told him, I was like, if, somebody has a problem with me, come to me and talk to me. I told him I'm easy to talk to. I told him I'll take accountability. Like, just come to me and talk to me. But that's the thing is, since I haven't done anything wrong, they're not. They can't say anything to me, which pisses them off apparently. So they pretty much do these little petty games where they pretty much were working me like 12 hours a day and pretty much scapegoating me out. Trying to, like, it felt like they were trying to get me frustrated. Well, they were trying to get me frustrated. Because then they were pretty much messing up orders right in front of me on purpose. Not helping me out. Straight up silent near me. And then every time I tried to initiate a conversation with somebody, they were pretty much like butting in and then looking at me like you need to be quiet. But that's the thing is I told them, and I've got it pretty much recorded. I recorded the conversation I had with him because I started to notice, and that's the thing is I wear a body camera to work every day now. And the thing when I talked to the managers about it, the female manager, she was just like, "Well, why do you need a body camera?" And what initiated it is they said money was missing in the drawer. And I was just like, "Oh, I can start wearing my body camera to work." And she was just like, "Why do you need to wear a body camera to work? You're safe here." And I was just like, "Well, you never know. I mean, just for my safety." And pretty much like trying to they didn't tell me no, so I started wearing it every day, and they haven't said anything to me about wearing it. But at the same time, it's just like, why would you say that about the body camera? Like, shit, it kind of makes me feel like I need it. And it's because they want to play these games with me. And it's hard to do that when they're on camera. So they just start messing up orders, and pretty much everybody that I talk to, they pretty much and go behind me, and they're like slandering my name for no reason. And I think some of the employees see it. But it's hard to believe because, there's more of them and it's just me. And it's wrong because, I think about this all the time. Like, customers, I never have issues with customers. I'm not going to say never, but I rarely have issues with customers. But that's when I started to know something was off, was because it's like the same thing happens to me at every job. And they make it seem like it's my fault. It's like they're trying to build like some kind of rapport on me. Because they know that I know. And what they do is they pretty much try to work me so much. Like, a few days ago, one of the employees got a flat tire and everything, and I was pretty much doing an open to close. And then on the closing shift, I've done closing shifts at this store multiple times. I have never had that many dishes. They were like wrapped around. It's like they did it on purpose. And it's because they want to get me frustrated. They want me to mess up. And I come in every day to make everybody's lives easier. And they want to make mine harder. And they try to make me feel bad for coming in and not talking. Like, what else am I supposed to do? It's like every time I try to talk, you're already slandering what I say. And it's because they want to, I guess, catch me saying something so they can hold something against me. The thing about it is since the store manager was around me, he was like snapping. He would snap at people. And he would say some pretty nasty things about like sexual things. And it's like since he did that in front of me, he thinks I guess he thinks I'm going around telling everybody. I wasn't. And actually today, no, I'm sorry. Yesterday, technically the day before yesterday now, he I asked, about the employee discount and everything so I could get a pizza, and he pretty much came over and he put it in for free and he said, "Don't tell anybody." And I just looked at him and I was like, "Who do I talk to other than you?" And his eyes kind of got wide because he's been talking behind my back for no reason. And today he was super quiet, or yesterday now, he was super quiet. After a full day of them like having like loud conversations with the crew and everything, pretty much mocking me and then blaming me for something that I didn't do. I was just over in the area, and pretty much one of the newer people that was being trained to be a manager, he's pretty smart. I think he's leaving on purpose because he already got another job lined up. He gave him 1 month notice. And he was on the table and everything, and I was kind of helping him, get everything situated. And what I mean by them like butting in to when I talk to people, like pretty much me and him were having a conversation, and then the store manager and one of the other people were having a loudest conversation like way over there, and pretty much asking him like, "How do you feel about that?" Pretty much like trying to exit our conversation that we were having. And I was helping him. Like I was doing work. And they were talking about just random stupid stuff. And it got him confused. It got him put behind. And then they blamed me. And I did nothing. And I went up to him and I was just like, if that was my fault, then I'm sorry, but you know, that's the thing is they put themselves in these situations where it messes them up, and then they blame me for it, just to have something to blame me for. And like I said, today they were very quiet, like almost like crickets quiet. And I'm pretty sure part of it's because now because they think I'm going behind their back and talking behind their back. It's like, who do I talk to? I literally told the store manager that I was gonna come in, I was gonna wear headphones, and I was probably gonna keep to myself, and that irritated them. And this is what happens to me at my jobs. And it's been made clear to me that they're a part of this community cult. And they don't want people to see the bubbly me. They want people to see somebody that doesn't exist in me. Because they have hate in their heart. And I don't have hate in my heart. I know, I have conviction to know the difference between right and wrong. And since day one, when this new store manager came in, I have been there for him. Day one. When he came in and everything, a lot of the employees were not very happy with the switch up because of, I guess, what happened to the store manager. Because everybody loved that store manager. I didn't know him too well, you know. He was only there for like a month or two, and I didn't know him. I didn't really, you know. I called him and talked to him whenever, you know, I was coming in, or whenever he wanted me to come in or anything like that. But a lot of the employees did not like that. They were talking about quitting. And a lot of the employees and everything, they weren't talking very good about the new store manager. And I went up to the store manager on day one and told him, hey, look, I know how it is to take over a store, switching management and everything, because I've taken over stores. And I told him, I was like, if you need anybody to fill in anything, let me know. I'll work whatever you want me to. And he filled me in for like 50, 60 hours a week. Which, you know, I'm fine with it. I'm here to help you out and everything, like, you know, whatever you want to do. But, and then one day I told him, like, because it was a super busy day, and I was just like, yeah, if you need me to stay longer, I'll stay. That's no biggie. I told him I didn't want him, because we were understaffed. And I told him I don't, you know, I don't want you to work yourself to death. And I pretty much, like, opened up to him, telling him that I respected him. Telling him that I appreciated him. And then not even a week later, they surround me. And pretty much tell me what they were a part of. Pretty much telling me they were part of this cult. And then the mocking, and the slandering, and the gaslighting, the mental abuse that they put me through. And yesterday, I pretty much told the story, because even through all of this, I've kept my composure, and I still told the store manager that I'm here for him. And then he pretty much confirmed to me then that, you know, oh, then your money situation won't be a problem. And then I was pretty much like, my money situation? Like, how do you know about my money situation? And it wasn't a problem at the time. But he was like implying to me that, you know, if I don't, I guess, what's the word for it? Get in line with them, that they would take it all away from me again. Because they've been gatekeeping my life. Gatekeeping me. And it's happened to me for a long time now. And I forgive them. I forgive them all. Because I still love them. No matter how bitter they want me to be. I still choose love over hate. I don't want this to happen to anybody. And I just have a feeling in my heart that something's going to happen to them. Because you can only get away with abuse that harsh for so long. Because a lot of people say that what hides in the dark will come to the light. Nobody should have to go through mental abuse, whether it be at work, at home. Nobody. Everybody should be able to speak their mind and be confident. Because they don't want me to be confident. They don't want me to speak my mind. They don't want me to pretty much have joy. Because they know that if I'm my bubbly self around everybody, that their narrative against me, their false rumors, will look bad on them. That's why they do it. It's what these cults do to people. They're literally gatekeeping people's lives for no reason. And I'm a hard worker. Like, I don't deserve not to, be able to move forward in my life. I should be living very comfortably. As so should everybody else. It's not right. It's not right. It's sickening, in my opinion. And then they try to say things about me that aren't true. They pretty much twist my words to make me sound or look like somebody that I'm not. And I know it irritates them that I still come to work. And I still work hard. And I still love everybody. And at the same time, the customers really appreciate me. 9 times out of 10. I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. And I've never claimed to be, but that's how they treat me. Oh, you think you're so perfect, don't you? No. We all make mistakes. But it's up to us to take accountability. That's the thing, is they don't want to take accountability for their actions, because what they've done to me and what they've done to people, I guess, in the past, because I've watched them do this to other people. I've wa- I've watched them do this to other people. And most of the time I say something about it, and that's what gets me in trouble. But I'm not rude or anything about it, but they want me to be. Because they watch me so closely every day, just waiting for me to mess up on something. And then, if I do something that they do, God forbid, they will go around the whole store pretty much saying that, oh, he did this, and, blah, 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 blah. And they get so irritated because I don't react the way that they want me to. And what sickens me is I've told them that if they need anything from me or if they want anything from me, come and talk to me. But that's the thing. They don't want to come and talk to me. It's like some kind of power game that I want no part of. I just want to go to work and go home. And it's like people get irritated when I do that. Like, what's so bad about that? I come to work, I do, in my opinion, a damn good job, and I go home. And I make mistakes, but it's nothing compared to what they've done. They come to work and they want to gossip and spread lies and hurt people's lives. It's wrong. And they do not like that I know what they're doing to me. They don't like that I know who they are. They don't like that at all. But what can they do now? They think they're gonna make it better? All you gotta do is let me come to work. Let me be myself. Let me be my bubbly self. Customers love it. I make people want to come back. And most of my coworkers love it. But it's whenever, I guess, when somebody gets jealous or envious, they're just like, oh, he thinks he's so perfect. No, I don't. And they didn't believe me when I told them that, I'll just stick to myself. They thought it would annoy me. With what they're doing. And I just stuck to myself. But I'm just speaking out about what's happened to me, how my life has been threatened, how I'm being followed job to job, not being able to make enough money to move. Like, if they don't like me, and that's the thing, is they want me to stay because I'm a good hard worker. But they know I'm worth a lot more than what I'm working for. And I do it because I like to help people. I love everybody. Thank you.